This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Let's talk about the stuff that he contributed in front of the camera that we would be most familiar with, where he maybe was the puppeteer behind the scenes. Steve Austin and Bret Hart had perhaps one of the best matches in WrestleMania history at WrestleMania 13. It ended with that famous double turn. Of course, Ken Shamrock was the special guest referee. And as the story goes, Gerald Brisco is a big part of putting that match together. A double turn is not exactly something very easy to pull off, but they did it as good as anybody ever did. What do you remember about Gerald as a road agent and his contributions that maybe fans wouldn't even put two and two together for?
Well, he was really good at it. I mean, he could place himself, because he had been there, into the wrestling boots of the participants. And I don't know that the goal when that match started was to turn Austin babyface, to be honest with you. But how the match was laid out led to that. So Jerry was phenomenal. And here's the other thing. When talking to the talents about a match, laying out the concept, the philosophy of this match, the talents trusted him. They knew that he wasn't after their spot. He didn't have a relative that wants their job, nothing. He was all for them to have a great performance. And between he and Pat Patterson, WWE had two really strong finish guys. And all because they both had success, they both had great experience and so forth. And Jerry was just, he was trusted. People trusted Jerry, and he had great ideas. So he'd been a wrestling heel. He'd been a top baby face. He'd had success in tags, singles, whole 9 yards. So he was a viable asset. And when you go back and look at WrestleMania 13, that was a hell of a match. I thought that was a phenomenal. That match was as good as I've seen.
Yeah.
And I was glad I got to call it. Well, I think Vince and Lawler and I called it, I think.
That's right.
But you can see Pat and Jerry's fingerprints on it. So those two guys had two of the great architects in pro wrestling history, Steve and Bret, and Jerry. And I'm sure some by Pat, because Pat was very close to Bret, that Canadian thing, and which is fine. So it worked out really, really good. And Jerry never will get the credit that he deserves. He'll always, and it should go to mostly to the talents, but sometimes you got to look at the game plan, the coaching.
Yes, the coaching. That's the right phrase. You and I both being football fans, we know what we're talking about in that regard.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.